Hey, what's up guys, Radio Card Game here, and welcome to this new Yu-Gi-Oh! Card Market Watch. After the drop of the ban list and the official release of Extreme Forces. So, the first card is I want to talk about is Heavy Metal Foe's Elektra, and despite its price that was sitting around 60 and 65 euros on the weekend of the sneak peek, as you can see here, and now after the ban list it actually dropped significantly, and it's sitting around 47, let's say just 50. You can find some single copies from We Love to Collect, Frankie 20, and just Jotka. I don't know how to pronounce it, but the first playset you can find here for just 50 euros from Industrial Illusions, Yu-Gi-Oh! Online Cards, and Best Art 83 and E-Man 9595 that are all names that we already know from the previous Yu-Gi-Oh! Card Market Watch. So I think that this card can go down a little bit more and reach the 45 or even 40s. But if you're really looking forward to play some Pendulum decks, I suggest you to don't wait too long, because in 2 weeks there will be YCS Atlanta, and if magicians or Pendulum Magicians, I mean, and or Zephyrus top, this card could actually go up again. So maybe you should buy now, but I will buy it for 45 and it's okay, I think. But yeah, you still got 2 weeks before the price will go up, because as you already know, every time that there is a YCS, the prices always spikes. The next card is again from Extreme Forces and is Saruja, School Dread. I will just straight call it Scolded, like in the OCG. It's sitting around 27, but you can find a lot of one-off here for 27, almost 28. There are 2 copies here from Rising Time, but I don't think that you will need 2 copies, so yeah, it's good just as a one-off. And yeah, this card can actually go down a little bit more and reach 25 or even 20. We'll see. It's still early to say if the cards are actually good to buy now, because we are still 1 week after the Extreme Force official date release, so the booster pack haven't been opened a lot, so there are not a lot of copies around. Another interesting card is Hatronade. Such a bad name, by the way. And it's sitting around 10 euros, but you need a playset, and there are a lot of one-off here. And the first playset is actually here by Bubblegum for 11 and 50, but you can find 2 copies for just 11 from Gamers Paradise. There is another playset here for 12 euros by the Canterbury. This card can actually be good one day, or maybe in the near future, because the ban list put it a free lot of trap cards, and also Solemn Judgment is back. I know that, of course, Solemn Judgment can negate this card, but with True Dracos having the possibility to come back in the meta, I see this card to be played also against Altergeist, even though it can negate it with Extia. But the deck is not capable of summoning Extia in the first turn yet, so yeah, maybe this card could be useful. It's just a generic good cards, you know, so you should probably pick this up. The next card is Inspector Border, and is an interesting touch choice, or even a main deck card for stun decks. I completely see this card to stay around 10 euros, and I wouldn't risk, if you want this card, to wait a little bit more, because since it's very powerful, I don't see it going down more. So there are a couple of playsets here by MTG Top Decker and Hobby Games for 13 euros. It's okay as a price. I would buy it if I were you, and if you need it. So in the OCG, some decks that are topping with Inspector Border, but I know if this is relevant. Not, at least not in a competitive scene. Let's make it this way. The next card is an interesting one, and it's Trickster Reincarnation, that actually has seen a buyout. The same evening the ban list dropped, and it's quite interesting because usually we here in Europe don't see buyouts, in particular here in card market. So from its 18 euros when it was, now it's sitting around 30, and the first playset here is from Judose, but it's not a proper seller. And yeah, it's got a playset, but the first playset from a proper seller is Junk's Playground, the old Goodyear. And so it's a big name of the car market, and it's selling it for 32 euros. And by the way, he has 14 copies, or 20 if you want the first edition one, for the same price, by the way. Tricksters, I think that are not that viable anymore, because they were topping just because they were a really good hard counter for Spirals, and now that Spirals is quite dead, I don't think that Tricksters, without the new cards from Flame of Destruction that the OCG has, also the jump promos, can do anything. So I wouldn't bother with this. Struggling Battle, or Evenly Match, whatever you call it, is a card that I straight sell it or get rid of, because it was good against Spiral and also against Pendulum Magician before the drop of Electromite, but now the deck is capable of ending the turn with at least one spell or trap negation, for example with Norito and or Vortex Dragon or Dice Vortex Dragon, so you can easily negate this card. So this, I think that Struggling Battle will go down a little bit, but his price is still quite high. You can see here around 60 for 2 copies, and the first playset is for 65 euros from Trading Cards XXX, and MTG Agora, an English playset, first edition, for again 65 euros. Honestly, I will get rid of this card. I know the card is Masterborn, but if you really like this artwork, then you should buy it. It's just one of, even though the price is really high. As you can see here, Kavin has 4 copies of it for 13 euros. But we are getting the Lost Art promotion, and I think that just you know, give some money to your locals, invest on them, support them, and they will give you, quote unquote, for free this new art of Monster Reborn. Also, I think that we are here in kind of the same case, the same scenario of Snatch Steel in 2014 or 15. Maybe it's 15, when that card have been unbanned, limited for just one format, and then they straight ban it again. And probably we can see the same things happen to Monster Reborn, because they just want to sell the Lost Art promotion, of course. The next cards that I want to talk about are some Necrots card, in particular Brionac, that is sitting around still 15 euros. Why I want to talk about them? Necrots are actually the best, of course, ritual decks ever printed, but and preparation of rights is now at 3, so maybe, just maybe, this deck could be a really powerful and viable tier 2 deck for this format, since the most powerful decks have been crippled or killed by the ban list. For example, Spiral and Magician. Magician is of course still maybe the most powerful deck, but there are a lot of old decks that are capable of doing, will be capable of doing something, like I said in my ban list discussion video. And Necrots could be a viable option, also going second with a lot of entraps, since it's very consistent. I would buy this now because we don't have Shurit at 1 yet, and if it will happen in the next ban list, maybe the price will go up, right? Will spikes. So if you want to play Necrots again, like Field the old days, I suggest you to do it now. And there are 16 copies for 16 euros by Junk's Playground. Italian, near mint anyway. So yeah, why if you have some money and if you really love Necrots, I suggest you to buy them now, because the prices are already really high and they will never ever go down. So it's important to have them now, if you want to play them, of course. Same with Valkyries, but Valkyries is always the most expensive card, and it's at around 35 euros with 15 copies by, again, Junk's Playground, so you can actually do only one shipment from a single power seller. Trishula, 1 or 2 of in the deck anyway. It's sitting around 15 euros too, and there you can find one for 14 by Lottie Cards, but here Junk's Playground again has 13 copies for 16 euros. Now, as always, let's take a look to the top 10 items of the weeks that this time finally are different, thanks to the release of Extreme Force, of course. So the first place is taken by Curious. It's a really good card and it's just super for 20 cents. Then following the second place with Sarija, or Scolded, whatever you call it, is old. It's a really good link to monsters, and it's an ultra rare and looks gorgeous, and you should have it. Number 41 for the 4th place, and a Metal Fuzz Electron for the 5th, followed by Triple Bust Dragon, Pot of Desires again, X-Code Troller, really good card as a collection item, but also generic link monsters. Not quite generic, it requires Cyber's monsters, but if you didn't notice, most of the generic link monsters are Cyber's, for example, Link Spider and Proxy Dragon. So this card can easily be summoned, and followed by Hate Grenade, and finally Astrograph Sorcerer still. So that's it for today, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Leave a like, comment and subscribe, and see you next time.